my name is Robert Jakob, and this is what guitar players hear all the time. Play Hey Joe, bro. Play Little Wing. Can you play the solo to Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix? Why do I never hear? Play Machine Gun, bro. Play Who Knows. Play Power of Soul. This video is about the most underrated album of Jimi Hendrix, the Band of Gypsys live at Fillmore East. This album is from 1970 and it's his last album. It's a live album. I love the name Band of Gypsys, and it's a different band than the one he played Purple Haze, Little Wing and all of these other hits with. Now we know his band Jimi Hendrix and The Experience, which is Mitch Mitchell on the drums and Noel Redding on the bass. However, for Band of Gypsys he had Buddy Miles on the drums and Billy Cox on bass. I think he even met Billy Cox, the bass player, before he went to England and got popular. So yeah, why is it his most underrated album? And why is it generally, as I believe, one of the most underrated albums of all time? The album is crazy. First off, it's a live album. The playing and singing is just crazy. It's beautiful, it's amazing, it's intense, it's aggressive, it's groovy as hell, it's funky, it's a lot of things. It's actually the album that got me into playing guitar. I think the only rock song I heard before the Band of Gypsys was I Love Rock and Roll by Britney Spears. Now why do I believe this album is underrated? And let's compare it with the older songs. So why is it underrated? It seems like a lot of people who know Jimi Hendrix and love his guitar playing, they barely mention these songs or this kind of playing. Now all of his previous popular songs like Foxy Lady, Purple Haze, Little Wing, The Wind Cries Mary, which are more like softer ballads, I guess, and the other rock songs, they're all very short and in a way maybe radio friendly. Now I love all of these songs as well, and the playing is crazy too. It's just a different musicality, as I feel. Whereas the songs on Band of Gypsys, they're all like 6-7 minutes long or something. They're sometimes very extended, and to me they're a perfect combination and a perfect feeling of composition and improvisation. It's like a three-piece symphony, really. You got Jimi Hendrix, Buddy Miles, Billy Cox. It's like an orchestra of guitar, drums and bass. Sometimes it sounds like it's just perfectly composed, like the song structures, the riffs, the melodies, just the songs. And in between these songs there are so many improvised sections, so many long guitar solos, so much improvisation between the different instruments, and they're actually playing a lot with dynamic. Like the songs go up and down, they have quieter sections, then they build up again. They take stuff away, they put stuff back in. I highly recommend checking out that album. For anyone, guitar players, bass players, drummers, if you just love music, if you don't even play an instrument, it doesn't matter. I think the whole expression, the whole message of that album is just very intense, and yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite albums of all times and had a huge personal impact on my life and playing, obviously. For a moment, let me just talk about the drums and the bass of that album. I have listened to the album a lot of times, and for the longest time, for years I would say, I never even heard the bass. Obviously you hear the drums because you have a cracky snare and the kick drum and everything. Drums are kind of loud. Oh, by the way, the snare drum on that album, that's the ideal snare drum in my taste. I just love that snare drum. But so about the bass and the drums. They seem very simple, but they're ultimately groovy. You could take away the whole guitar of Jimi Hendrix and still listen to just drums and bass for the whole album because it's just so funky and groovy and in the pocket. Now sometimes I notice the bass is playing the same thing as the guitar and sometimes it's not. And the way that the drums and the bass play together, they just perfectly serve the guitar. They're building like the perfect canvas for Jimi Hendrix to do whatever he feels like in the moment. So I think that's an interesting musical contrast. You have drums and bass, which are very simple and basic, and you have the guitar, which is doing all kinds of crazy and melodic and harmonic stuff, and together they just blend in perfectly, like really enhancing each other. And you can hear there's so much listening to each other during the live performance. Like you can hear how the drums and the guitar interact, how the singing interacts with the instruments, how the bass and the guitar interact. I could analyze it forever, but it's just this cosmic planet created by these three people. It's just up there somewhere creating order and chaos at the same time. It's just very beautiful. Do you know what's also very beautiful? The subscribe button, the comment section and the like button. So if you like this video and also want to check out my music, Robert Jakob on all streaming platforms, check it out. Check out my album Mushrooms, Clowns and Rollercoasters. Thanks a lot for supporting the channel, and let's play some riffs. So besides all the amazing guitar solos on the album, it has some of my favorite riffs of all time. And I could also imagine one reason why the album is less popular was maybe because it has a really deep message. There's a lot of singing about peace and kind of anti-war, maybe anti-Vietnam War at the time. So a lot of bringing people together in music, and maybe record labels or whatever, they didn't think that that would be so commercial. But here are some of my favorite riffs from the album. Now first, the song Who Knows is one of my favorite songs and riffs of all time. The riff goes like this. There's something really special about this riff. It's like the rhythm, the funkiness of this. Talking about it, using all these words like groovy and funky and whatever, it doesn't really do the feeling justice, I feel. So yeah, maybe if you can, just try to play it. And then there's one part in a verse where the guitar just goes. And the bass keeps playing the same riff an octave lower, like. That's what I mean with they are using a lot of tension and taking away things. Like Jimi Hendrix might play the riff high, and then the bass plays the riff low, and then Jimi Hendrix just plays this. So the riff keeps on going, but he's taking away the guitar, and the drums get quieter, and then they get louder. Like every song has a build-up, is kind of like a drama curve and a climax in the end. It's a crazy mixture of composition and improvisation. Also, it's like the ultimate jam album to me, because the way that Billy Cox and Buddy Miles keep on going with the groove on drums and bass, you can just really feel how Jimi Hendrix, like he feels completely free to do whatever he needs to do on the guitar. Also, if you think about just the chords of Who Knows, that would be. And the riff being. It sounds so transparent to me, because in a way every song is very simple. The bass is not doing overly complicated things, it's just really supporting the guitar and the drums. And in this simplicity everything just shines. Next is the song Power of Soul. Now that's also one of my favorite riffs. And all those riffs, they're kind of pentatonic based, but especially in the solos he brings out all kinds of harmonies. So this is Power of Soul. They're also playing a lot with rhythms and breaks. So that's where you can hear that it's this mixture of composition and improvisation, because they're doing a lot of pauses, it just changes. It's not just 4/4 and jamming. It's a 3-piece symphony. And this song Power of Soul, it has one of my favorite blues verses of all time. In the verse, the guitar just does this. That's so hypnotic. She comes to my hotel. She don't want anybody to know. That's what I love. You have these simple parts and then they just transpose them somewhere else, or they change the riff, so there's so much playfulness. It goes from this. Like every single part of the songs is so good that it sounds like they're just playing them for however long they want to, until they feel like changing to the other song part. Now the next song is called Them Changes, which is actually a song by Buddy Miles. Check out that version too. I think originally it's a horn section playing this riff, but he's playing it on guitar. It goes like, or actually it starts with a little melody like. Playing it with a wah-wah. Maybe I should use at least some distortion. I don't know what key. And Buddy Miles is singing on a lot of these songs too. I think one lead and the other is a little bit in the background. I was reading some stuff that him and Jimi Hendrix, they had some disagreements. Like they said, Buddy Miles was singing too much. But I actually really love his singing on the record. He just has a lot of this churchy sound too. And I think it's the outro of this song then changes, which goes something like this. I love this when you take a power chord, let's say on the A string, and you add the E string. So you add the fifth an octave lower, so you got... It just sounds a bit off, but also a bit stronger. That's another thing. Every song has a crazy intro and outro. I don't even need to talk about these just really intense guitar solos. It's a whole different, like he's traveling somewhere with these guitar solos. And as much as they're distorted and they have all these crazy sounds and bendings and feedback and everything, but they're actually so melodic. Maybe it's because I listen to the album a lot, but I can like play the whole album in my head and have all the melodies of the guitar solos. And it's not like he's like playing very scaly stuff. There's a lot of bending and everything. So it's just like beautiful composed melodies right in the moment. Melodies, sounds, whatever, everything together. So that was just 3 songs of the album Who Knows, Power of Soul, or Power of Love actually, and Them Changes. The album inspired me a lot. For example, I have a song called What Is Wrong, with which I kind of had the feeling I wanted to write a riff like Who Knows, if you remember this one. Now I didn't try to copy the song, but I was thinking of that kind of riff, so I came up with this one. Check out my song What Is Wrong. By the way, follow Robert Jakob on all streaming platforms. I have a new album out, Mushrooms, Clowns and Rollercoasters, and some other stuff. Check out my music. Thank you. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and also check out my original music videos, like of my songs Tokyo and Love You From Afar. Comment your most underrated album of all time. Oh, and I think I forgot one song of the album, Machine Gun, which is the first song. It's also a perfect example of everything I talked about. For example, the bass just goes like this. This could already just go on forever. And then on top of that, Jimi Hendrix is singing and playing what he's singing at the same time, so it's just a magical song. Also, some of the songs of the album they produced in the studio, I think before. Like there's a version of Machine Gun and some other song that they recorded in the studio, but they sound completely different. They're not comparable to the live versions. Now I'm still working on this one, but to finish up the video, let's play a clean version of Machine Gun. Machine gun, tearing my body all apart. Machine gun, yeah, tearing my body all apart. Evil man, make me kill you. Evil man, make you kill me. Evil man, make me kill you. Even though we're only families apart. If you want some psychedelic stuff, check out my merch. I printed my album cover of Mushrooms, Clowns and Rollercoasters on a tie-dye, organic fair trade t-shirt. Peace!